Did you expect when you said you wouldn't shag Ava Santana that it would cause the kerfuffle that it did?
I think it's hilarious. I still find it hilarious because if a woman said that, it'd be fine.
She had said things like that.
She said lots of things like that, and so that just made me laugh. The sort of purging apology tour from the head of GB News, the home of free speech, to walk around going, well, we utterly condemn what Laurence said.
Is he Australian?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's called Angelos Frangopoulos. And he utterly condemned. And I was just like, I was laughing because I woke up in the morning on my phone. You know, when your phone gives you notifications for news, it's always a worry when those notifications are just you.
Oh, man. So you didn't know till like the next day it was going to cause a kerfuffle?
I'd gone to bed thinking, yeah, good. And also it's like 9:45 at night or something. And I think it's perfectly acceptable. The only part of that I regret was that I should have said before I said I would definitely wouldn't want to shag that, which I maintain to this day. And I would encourage any man who wants to live in any semblance of happiness to never go near women like Ava Santina. I should have said this woman belittled male suicide. What I should have done.
That would have been better.
What I should have done. My brain is quite emotional. I'm an emotional person because you're taught to be emotional as an actor. You're always taught to respond emotionally and instinctively. What I should have done was sort of composed a sort of visceral takedown of her position. But what I like doing instead is getting to the nub of the point, which is like, don't breed with a woman like that. She will make your life misery.
She called me stupid on a panel with Piers Morgan.
Did she?
Yeah, she's not even that. You know what? In a sense, looking back, she did. I mean, what you did, you dehumanized her. You said with that. It wasn't even the shag. It was with that. And she said, when I made a point, she's like, I won't argue with stupid. And
so she just said, oh, hang on a minute. Are you trying to tell me they're the exact thing that they accuse you of?
I know, but you know what? I had said to her before, look, say what you want to me. I don't care. And then I forgot. And then afterwards I said, you called me stupid. And she said, you said I could say what I want. I thought, yeah, that's true. So fair enough. But I appreciated when you messaged about coming on, you said you're gonna give me a hard time.
I'm happy for you to give me. I like being given a hard time.
Isn't that's what's missing in the world though?
Yeah.
Like, and I love it as well. Like, come on, let's go in, let's have a chat. Even with any Aluko, that went viral, that video on Twitter and all of that. You know, I walked her to the station after, we've been messaging since, totally disagree about everything. And it was just nice that we're able to do that.
So she didn't feel embarrassed that she got owned.
She didn't know it had happened. And
because she still thinks it's true.
I think she's still, and I want to be nice because I do like her. And I've said to her, you know, come hang out sometime or whatever, and we'll play football. I'll let her score a couple.
We'll play football. I'll tie my shoelaces together, and I'll still be better than you. Stop it, Laurence.
Yeah, I know. She would presumably be significantly better than me at football. But I'd beat her for a header.
Joey Barton is very. I mean, Joey's videos he shares. I can't. Look. I love the women in sport is amazing. It's just, again, it's nuanced. It's which sport. It's like women's tennis I can watch all day.
It's pretty good.
I'll watch it all day. But women's football, I know, and the fact that it's pumped at us relentlessly. Yeah. And I was driving past Lords yesterday, and women's cricket actually is sort of coming along. But it's just women everywhere. And it's like, okay.
We don't like the idea of someone from above deciding what we should be interested in watching and doing. It is absurd.
Yeah.
And you're right, the women's tennis, and it's so different because just as many women, I presume, play tennis as do men. Whereas football, in this country, I know Americans might feel differently about it. In this country, there's about 500 women who are really serious about football, whereas there are probably about 20 million men. Yeah. So to be the top of the men, you've got to be extraordinary. To be the top of the women, you've got to be like the best in your year at school or something. Like that, you're professional.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, we're one short for the Arsenal ladies first team. I've got to stop being this.
No, but it's true. But the issue here isn't us saying, okay, first, obviously there's a physical difference making women, it's going to be a slower game. It's not going to be quite as good in certain ways because of the physicality of it. But as you've seen in tennis, it can still be really enjoyable because as long as you've got two really good players going at each other, it's fine. But the the football, like I say, the problem is the lack of, there's no competition.
Yeah.
They're not playing it. Like, they don't play. And they're going, why not? That's a problem. We need to make women interested in doing a sport they're not interested in doing.
Stop politicizing sport. I don't want politics in sport, and I don't want sexual politics in sport.
No, I go to Spurs. It's huge. That
you've
flag
got your equality. You've got your equality, girls. Yeah. So now enjoy it.
Yeah.
Instead of complaining about it again. We've gone beyond equality. Now it's like, it's domination.
But you can't say that. I wouldn't shag that. Come on.
No, it was probably, I'd said, who would want to shag that?
That's even worse.
Is what I said. Is it worse?
Come on. Yeah.
No,
You should apologize. Right on this show.
I did apologize. I apologize for the use of language. A bit later. And I think that I can see exactly why it would be taken in that way. Because I can see it might be taken that way. But what I was saying, who want to shag that sort of ideology.
I see.
That's what I was saying, but I can see how it comes out like that object.
Yeah. Also, I guess it makes it seem as though it's more important that a woman is shaggable than, that might not be of interest to her.
Well, if a woman isn't shaggable, we're not going to breed, are we? So,
no.
It's
I don't know if she was intending to with you.
No, I'm not. I think I'm fairly confident that she had absolutely no desire whatsoever to ever shag me, and the feeling is entirely reciprocated.
Did you get thrown under the bus by Dan Wootton?
Yeah, but I don't mind. I like Dan. He's all right.
Okay. Because that was weird. You were both like on there, like, here's the tweet, here's what he texted me, this is what he texted me.
It's only because he phoned me the next day and he went, Dan's a panicker and I'm not a panicker. I've learned from the 300 cancellations I've had already that the one thing you don't do is panic. So Dan was like, mate, they want me to apologise, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. And I'm like, it's not making a difference if they've decided. And he's like, they want me to put this in about you. And I said, throw me under the bus, Dan, and I will tell you, I will share your tweet DM with me. If you do it, all you got to do is take that bit out, because you don't need to say, you were obviously giggling. It's obvious.
Yeah.
So say sorry for the giggling and make up many, many excuses. But don't say, you didn't know what I was going to say, because I run it by all the producers. They all knew I was going to say it. So maybe it was a GB News setup to finally get rid of Laurence Fox, who was irritating them hugely anyway, as I kept reminding them that as the home of free speech, it felt a little bit like a sort of Gestapo garden party.
I think it might not have been just get rid of Laurence Fox. There was another man involved in that wanted ridding of...
What, Calvin?
Dan.
Yeah, they wanted to get rid of Dan and also Calvin. But what I find, look, sack me, fine, I don't care. But I found their cowardice about sacking Calvin to be one of the most pathetic pieces of corporate weakness.
This is Calvin Robinson.
Yeah, it's what I call the woke right.
Yes,
that's what the GB News are. It's like, we'll give up all of the principles of Western civilization and free speech. What he should have done, the guy who runs the show, is he should have walked out and gone, whilst we completely condemn what Laurence said, we are the home of free speech, so we have to support him. And if Ofcom find against us, he can pay the fine, or we'll sack him then. But the apology tour, the sort of grovelling apology tour, it's just pathetic. And I meet a lot of people who, because people love to characterize themselves as freedom fighters. They love it, but they're not. They're cosplay freedom fighters. They're freedom fighters in fancy dress.
When it suits them, I suppose.
Yeah, and GB News is full of them. And
why did they get rid of Calvin then? Because he stuck up for you?
Calvin stuck up for Dan.
Right.
Calvin was on the phone to me, giving me a hard time, because I have a good relationship with Calvin. He tells me the truth, and that's a good relationship. We have a proper relationship where he tells me when I'm a douchebag, and I say sorry, I won't do it again, and then I do it again. It's like a sort of marriage.
Yeah, I have a sort of relationship like with Tessa Dunlop like that, and she'll call, did I say the wrong thing? And I go, yes, you can't. Well, I don't want to remind people of some things she's done. We share an age, and but so just to clarify, no, you don't feel sorry for saying that?
Yeah, to a degree.
There you go.
I mean, worse things. I mean, fine, sorry.
I know what people can say bad stuff and say sorry and then you move on.
I suppose if you live in my world and you read what people say they want to do to my children or my ex-wife or anything like that, I'm like, any man would say that down a pub. And most of the people I spend time with are in pubs, are that sort of people.
Yeah, I suppose we want a different world for sort of what you would say with your friends and what you would say on air and publicise. I've thought about that a lot. I mean, there've been a few sort of footballers. Dele Alli, for example, he'd been sharing a message. He said something fairly racist or with friends and messages, and one of them obviously leaked it to the press, which is just a contemptible thing to do. And I remember thinking he had to apologise and all this stuff, and I just thought, I feel like maybe you're allowed to be racist on your own with your friends. I think it was Louis C.K. said something like, when you find love when you've got someone you can be racist with. I don't, or and I'm not just saying, anti-Semitic. I'm Jewish. I don't mind. A friend makes a joke to me. Like, that's different to them going on air and saying a whole thing with people they don't know. So I guess that's the public.
Yeah. It also, everything is about tone and intention, isn't it? It's not about necessarily what you say, because someone can say in a really, can talk about white privilege, which is a stupid idea, and they can do it in a really serious tone, and I find that intimidating. Whereas if someone calls me cracker, I'm all right with it.
There was that Scottish minister, that speech where he went like, the head of police, white,
Hamza Yusuf.
White.
It's like, yeah, okay, we get it, Hamza. You're a massive racist, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, if he was born in a different place and time and he was white, he'd be the one leading the Nazis.
Yeah, he'd be going, the Prime Minister, brown. It's just shut up about it. It's Morgan Freeman's point. It's like, stop obsessing with race.
Yeah.
I'm bored of it. I was bored of it before. I'm bored of it now. I've got all of my family are married to people who are not white skinned. My girlfriend.
That sounds over the top.
All of them.
That's what you're hiding.
Actually, no. One of them isn't. That's sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got something to hide. The Foxes are everyone we've got,
So,
bloody hell, it's a bit much. It's
have you put your makeup on this morning, Helga?
Fucking hell.
And
it's like it's that film Get Out. Do you ever see that? That's what I'm imagining the Fox family.
Yeah, come up the ranch. Fox family. We were just not raised with that stuff because we were raised as Christians. You see, and Christian, the whole thing is, you're made in the image of God, so it doesn't really matter whether you're brown, black, yellow, or red.
Are you Christian now? Are you a believer?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
believe in God.
I do.
Do you think he's about?
I do. He's certainly about.